I'm Sam Marshall, and today I'm going to show you an instructional video about how to change your Shimano crankset. As you see here, I've damaged my 52 chainring and it needs to be replaced. Unfortunately, Shimano makes it very difficult to just change the one piece you want. So while I'd like to just replace this one ring, I have to replace the entire package. For this job, you'll need a hex key, the Shimano Hollowtech 2 crank arm tool, a rag, and you'll possibly want this 15mm wrench and a paper towel. Now before we get started taking off the crankset here, it's important to have good lighting in your working environment. So I've taken this nice desk lamp here and I've got an extension cord so I can reach over to my bicycle. Now, the first step here is to take off this crank arm. So what you'll need to do is you need to get your hex key here and you'll need to loosen up these bolts. They're going to be on there tight, so you're going to have to get in there pretty hard. There goes that one. You got to loosen it up real good. Then you got this one on the other side here. Got to loosen that one up too. There we go. Okay, that's step one. Okay, so for step two here, you're going to need this special tool that Shimano makes to take off their crankset. So you got to get it in this little hole here. You get it in there and then you got to twist it and you get this thing off. It's not on there too tight, so once you get those bolts loosened up, it should be no problem. Here it comes. Here she comes. Oh, gross. Okay. So as you see, now we've taken out both of the bolts here, and I've taken the chain off. The next step is to take out the safety tab. A screwdriver should work like this. Here's the tab. Now we should be able to remove the crank arm just by pulling on it. There we go. Crank arm is off. The next step is to take out the other side of the crankset here. Now, conventional wisdom would say to use a soft hammer to pound here to get this piece out. However, I've got this other crank arm I've just taken off and this rag from Sprouts Farmers Market. I'm just going to wrap it around here like so, make a soft hammer, and then gently, there it goes. It shouldn't be in there too hard. Slide it off. Now the crank arm is off and we're ready to put on the new one. The last part is pretty easy. We're just going to put back on what we just took off. I'm upgrading here. I've got a 5339 ring because I'm getting stronger, so I need more power. Just going to slide this back through, replacing this O-ring that came off. Now, one thing that's important to remember is to make your life easier is to get the chain around the thing that goes in the middle here before you put it in. You see here. Oops. Okay, that's on. Now we have to put on the other crank arm. Who knows how you make sure that it's straight, but you want to make sure that it goes on directly opposite so that, you know, things work the way they're supposed to. Okay, looks like that was pretty easy. We have to tighten her up now with the bolts. First we got to put on our handy dandy Shimano doohickey that needs the special tool here. So this should be pretty easy. Let's get her started here. Okay, now she's on there tight. Now we just gotta tighten up these bolts here. Get the chain on here now too. Uh-oh. Now the last step is to just put the pedals back on. In hindsight, it would have been much easier to do this when it was still connected to the bicycle because I had more leverage. However, I've got this handy dandy 15mm wrench here that's going to give me enough leverage to be able to do this. Hold on. There we go. Just got to get it started. It'll come right off there. Okay. Just going to clean this off a little bit first. Put it on over here. Now let's tighten it up again with the wrench. Now just remember that these things tighten in the opposite direction of your pedal, so you don't have to worry if you didn't get it on tight enough. Now we've got the new crankset installed. Everything looks good. Tomorrow is going to be a new day, a new ride with a new crankset. Look at that.